Hello, and welcome to another episode of Soap Goes to the Oscars. This is number 112. And we're still in the 1941 Oscars. I realized on the last episode that I forgot to add a few details about the ceremony. So, as I said, this was the 1941 Oscars. It aired on, or it was presented on February 26, 1942. And this was the first year where they, instead of outstanding production, which it was called since 1929, 1930 Oscars, they changed it to outstanding motion picture. And that carries on through 1943 when they started saying best motion picture. So that's fun. Another little, you know, I can't stop like messing with numbers and figuring things out. So I was kind of looking at, how many movies I've watched so far and how long that has taken me. And, if I were to continue at that rate, when would I finish with this endeavor? And it's not an exact science because obviously, if, a year from now, there will have been another Oscar ceremony with 10 more movies and so on and so forth each year. As of right now, there's 610 movies, two of which I couldn't watch. So 608. So this is the calculation I came up with. So as of right now, I'm recording this on October 3rd, 2025, and the same day I watched the movie. And the first movie I watched was on May 13th, 2023. So 2.5 years ago almost. So there's 874 days between then and today. I watched 110 movies, which is an average of about one movie every 8 days. As I said, there's 610 Oscar nominees. So I have 498 remaining to watch. That is at the current rate of one every 8 days. That would be 3,984 days from now, with a finish date of August 30th, 2036. So basically, I put this in place to, give myself a little motivation. I got to step it up a little bit and try to watch more of these movies a little faster. I mean, 100 movies a year was my goal this year. And if I could do that, obviously it would take a lot less. It would take about 5 or 6 years. But I haven't even come close. I think I've watched 50 or so this year. I watched 51 so far, plus the snub movies. So a little over that. Yeah. And that's not even those dates and everything I gave doesn't even include the snubbed movies. So, it's obviously going to add even more time to things. And it's my own doing. I chose to add the snub movies in, but I think it's fun. So we're going to keep it. Anywho, the movie I watched this time was called Here Comes Mr. Jordan. And that is a 1941 American fantasy romantic comedy film directed by Alexander Hall, in which a boxer mistakenly taken to heaven before his time is given a second chance back on Earth. It stars Robert Montgomery, Claude Rains, Evelyn Keyes, James Gleason, Edward Everett Horton, Rita Johnson, and John Emery. The film's screenplay, based on Harry Segal's 1938 play Heaven Can Wait, originally titled It Was Like This, was written by Sidney Buckman and Seton I. Miller. Working titles for the film were Heaven Can Wait and Mr. Jordan Comes to Town. Horton and Gleason reprised their roles in the film's sequel, Down to Earth, while Roland Culver took on the role of Mr. Jordan. Warren Beatty later remade the film in 1978 as Heaven Can Wait. 2001 film Down to Earth, starring Chris Rock, is also based on the play. The 1943 film Heaven Can Wait itself, also a Best Picture Oscar nominee, has no connection to the source material for Here Comes Mr. Jordan. Produced by Everett Riskin, cinematography Joseph Walker, edited by Viola Lawrence, music by Friedrich Hollander, production company and distribution company Columbia Pictures, released on August 7th, 1941, with a runtime of 94 minutes. Was nominated for 7 Academy Awards. Best Writing Original Story, which it won. Best Writing Screenplay, which it won. Best Picture. Best Actor in a Leading Role. Best Actor for Robert Montgomery. Best Actor in a Supporting Role for James Gleason. Best Director and Best Cinematography, black and white. This one was kind of fun. I will say Heaven Can Wait is a much better title than Here Comes Mr. Jordan. Claude Rains is typically very good, and he was in this. Edward Everett Horton has been in a few of these too. He's usually kind of comic relief, and he was in this as well. Robert Montgomery. I don't know if he's come into any of the other movies I watched, but at the beginning of this movie, I did not like him at all. He was very annoying, and when he quote unquote died early on, or he was flying a plane, I was like, oh good, this guy's gonna crash and I hopefully won't have to see him anymore. Oh no, he's in the whole movie. Even the part where he goes into other people's bodies, a la Quantum Leap. I was like, oh good, it'll be a different actor playing him, but no, they just kept him, and everybody else was supposedly seeing the real person, but he was still him inside. So I was stuck with this guy the whole movie. He never really got less annoying. He wasn't terrible, or he wasn't a bad actor or anything. He was just the personality of him was kind of annoying. So, but overall, I gave it 3 stars. And where did I watch this? This was available on Tubi, so it was free. And with the usual extra long commercials, so the 94 minutes turned into closer to 2 hours, but still free is good. Yeah, Here Comes Mr. Jordan is just such a bad name because Mr. Jordan was not the main character. I don't even the whole time I'm watching it and I'm like, why is this called Here Comes Mr. Jordan? Mr. Jordan Comes to Town would have also been terrible. It really should have just been Heaven Can Wait. Like, that's so dumb. The thing I didn't like at the end was, at the beginning when he goes into the first body, the guy tells him, Mr. Jordan tells him that he will remain himself. So the man that he goes into is Joe Farnsworth. No, his name is Joe. Farnsworth. I don't know what the first name was. He goes into the body of this guy Farnsworth, who is like a broker and stockbroker and not a great guy. But Mr. Jordan tells him that he will remain him so he can make Farnsworth a better person and help out this girl who the real Farnsworth had, gotten her father arrested and put in jail. So he does all that and he falls in love with Betty. Spoilers. And then he later, like the reason that Farnsworth had died was his wife and his male secretary, had killed him because they were in love. And so they do end up killing him again, shooting him. And so he goes into the body of this boxer. He was a boxer in his original life. And he goes into the body of a boxer that he wanted to fight because that guy gets shot in the ring. And when he goes into the body, it like heals the bullet wound and brings him. So he's still himself. He's still Joe when he's in the body of this boxer, Murdoch. And then at the end, Mr. Jordan basically tells him, well, this is your life now. You're going to be Murdoch. And they do hint it, like he meets Betty again and there's a spark between them still. And, you can kind of extrapolate that they're still going to get together and be in love and all that. But Joe is essentially gone. He doesn't remember that he was Joe. And so it sort of took away from the beginning of the movie when he said that he would still remain himself. So I don't really know why he couldn't still be Joe in the body of Murdoch. He didn't really want to. So maybe that's why Mr. Jordan just made him forget. But it just didn't jive with the earlier parts of the movie. But it didn't, necessarily take away from it. I didn't hate it because of that or anything. It just was strange to me. So anyway, I will end it there. This one was okay, much better than the first movie, which was The Little Foxes. I did not care for. So we will see how this continues. Again, obviously, there's some big ones in here for this year of Oscars. So, I know there's some good stuff in here. We'll just see how the rest go. See you next time.